Garrett Wallace, PGA General Manager at Troon Country Club, is the recipient of the Southwest PGA's Bill Strausbaugh Award, presented to a PGA member who demonstrates exceptional character, integrity, and leadership by the way of teaching and mentoring his fellow PGA professionals. Throughout his career, Garrett has always made the extra effort to serve as a mentor to his staff, regardless of what their career aspirations are, whether in golf or in another field. Passing on all his learned knowledge and experience in the golf industry helps those he mentors better their own careers. He is most proud of the member of the former assistants and associates he has helped mentor that have gone on to become PGA head golf professionals, directors of golf, and general managers across the country. And Garrett has given back extensively to the Southwest PGA through his support in hosting our Arizona Open Championship at Troon Country Club over recent years. Ladies and gentlemen, the Southwest PGA Bill Strausbaugh Award honoree, Mr. Garrett Wallace.
At a young age, you became a manager, a mentor, and I mean, tell us how that was starting out.
Baptism by fire. I can remember vividly one day where we were out of golf carts, and there was one golf cart that something was wrong with it, but it still had gas, and I was siphoning gas out of one golf cart for another golf cart just to get it going. But it was an interesting way to get kind of introduced to the golf business, and it became my passion. Certainly loved the game,
Sure.
But then the interaction with the people. You know, it was a small municipal golf course just outside of Lexington, Kentucky, and that led on to other opportunities. But I was chatting with Jay and Michael at our table earlier. You know, this award's special to me because of the people that I've been so lucky and fortunate to have worked with through the years, and one of whom, and I'm glad Don Ray is not in the room, because a young man, when he was 12 years old, started to come to the golf course. His mom would drop him off. He would pick the range for me so he could hit golf balls back before we had labor laws. And he went on, and when he was old enough to work for me, he came to work for me, and we actually paid him real money. And then I went on to Greenbrier Country Club, and he followed me back in 1996. He's still there today. He's the club manager. He is a candidate for Secretary of the Association, Kelly Williams. So,
oh, fantastic.
Pretty proud to have someone that got that start and saw something in the game that I loved and has turned it into his career. So just one example. They always say, surround yourself with people who are better than yourself. It's pretty easy to do in my case, as I can't even get a microphone turned on. But it was an interesting ride, and to not have anyone to look up to when you're the head professional at 21 and you don't have someone mentoring you. I always made it a focal point that I didn't want the folks who work for me to be in that same situation. It's hard knocking down your own doors.
Sure. Well, when I just think of it, you had to be an incredible young man to be able to, to supervise and win over the staff at a young age like that. I mean, I can't imagine myself walking into an operation at 21 would have been a challenge, an incredible challenge.
I had a great lesson. My father ran restaurants when I was growing up, and he always gave me the worst jobs because he didn't want anybody to think that I was special because I was the owner's son. So I can remember a PGA professional that helped me early in my golfing career, Matt Cluck, would be driving out in a golf cart to pick me up because Dad had sent a taxi to pick me up because the dishwasher didn't show up. And I'd go to the restaurant. So I think it was that philosophy of, don't ever ask someone to do something they haven't seen you do. You earned respect, and hopefully that work ethic instilled in them and allowed them to be successful.
Throughout your career, you mentored and helped young assistants advance their careers at facilities across the country. How much pride does it give you seeing them move on to become head professionals and general managers? And
it's probably for all of us in this room, and hearing the words and answers to the questions and giving back to the game. Sure. It's probably the best thing that I can really take from what I do every day. My wife likes to remind me, it's just golf. Sometimes our members are, the things that they complain about, the free apples on the practice tee used to be gala, and now you switch them to something else. But to impact at Troon, I have, 114 associates that work for us, and to have an impact in their lives, whether they're going to go on to be golf professionals or general managers, or they're just going to school because they want to be an engineer. I had lunch last week with a general manager that worked for me as a food and beverage director, and I was thinking about that facility that I manage, and every member of our leadership team is now a general manager. Sure. And just thinking about that and thinking, hopefully in some small way I made an impact to where they could better their lives. And like John said earlier, it's all about giving back, and you can make an impact in that. So as I look at that family tree, I had a call last week. One of my young assistants who got started in golf just got his first general manager position back at the Architects Club in New Jersey. So really excited about that. I get a bigger thrill, almost as big a thrill as one of my staff getting a promotion like that as I do when one of my boys, gets a hit in a baseball game.
So you encourage your staff and you let them know the importance of giving back. And you spoke of giving back a minute ago to the community, to the section, to the allied associations and things like that. I mean, why give back? I mean, really hit on what it really is to you to give back, and to push that message to your staff and to your fellow employees.
I can remember back when I was the director of golf at Greenbrier in Lexington, Kentucky, and I was at a University of Kentucky basketball game, and I was in a suite with some members, and there were surgeons and doctors and all those things, and people were coming up and talking to me just because I could put a little white ball in a hole. And the power that golf had and the respect that I earned that I probably didn't deserve, and the pedestal they put me on, which I shouldn't have been on because they were way more accomplished than maybe I ever would be. And that resonated with me that, if I can be viewed that way, how can I utilize that to make a difference? The generation that we're hiring now, and I'm sure you see this with your staff, it's a different world. And getting them to think about more than just themselves or more than what their job is or job description is, but what their role is, and the opportunity to give back, the look on someone's face when you give back. I can still remember I just moved to this section, and Greg invited me to participate with the Special Olympics, and I was a caddy for that day. And I still remember that day and that impact. So conveying that to the young staff and understand that's what it's really all about, and that's the impact. That's the greatest part of our job. And we work in beautiful settings, and we get to interact with amazing people. But we have this vehicle through this wonderful game to be able to give back, and whether that's through the game itself, to be involved with the community. At Troon, we're very fortunate. We have a scholarship foundation that funds college tuition for our staff and the sons and daughters of our staff. This year we'll have 30. We'll fund 30 scholarships.
That's fantastic.
For associates. So it means a lot. We have one gal who worked for us who just got her master's and now just got hired on at Troon Management, created a position for. So those are the things, that's what makes it easy to hit that alarm when it goes off at 3 o'clock in the morning and listen to that person complain about the Gala apples.
Wow. That's a terrific program. That's amazing. So you've worked in some outstanding facilities throughout your career, and you continue to do so at Troon, obviously. You were recognized as the Troon General Manager of the Year in 2014. How have those experiences at those different facilities helped you with your mentoring skills?
I'm real fortunate, to win that award when you think, now we're up over 400 facilities worldwide, have 200 plus facilities, and at that time, Steve Leonard was in this room, still worked for us in the collection of general managers. So I like to say it's because it was alphabetical and they got towards the end of the alphabet, and that's why they picked me. But when you go to different facilities, and I've had the opportunity to bounce around a little bit, and you're the new guy, and how do you impact that team, and how do you get them to trust you? You know what you don't know, right. And you learn from them. And there's power in listening. There's power in listening to that server who has an idea. And when I was at the TPC of Scottsdale, we used to mop the back stairwell every day. And the staff never understood why we would mop. No one walked up there. It was just the staff. And when you gave, there was power in letting them understand. But if there's ever a time where a guest might have to walk up that back steps and you're taking care of that area as good as you're taking care of the areas that they are, that why was powerful. So I've always tried to share that with the team, and that's worked. We've tried to empower them. We throw that word around a lot in management. You're empowered to do things, but we mean it. I have 3 rules. If you come to me with an idea, it's got to pass my 3 rules. It's got to improve the member experience. Mm-hmm. It's got to be fiscally responsible. So if it saves us money or makes us money, great. And it's got to make your job, and it can make your job easier. Usually when they bring me ideas, it hits number 3. It makes their job easier. But if it can hit all 3, then we've got something. So that's probably been the key to being able to attract so many great people that have worked for me through the years. And I was thinking about it today, 26 years, and the number of folks that I've had the opportunity to work for and work with. It's pretty awesome.
That's a tremendous system. I mean, the 3 checkpoints that you have to pass. That's a tremendous system. I may adopt that in my place.
Have at it. Well, I'll give you that, and you give me the Apple guy's number.
Okay, sounds good. So just tell me, in your career, starting at such a young age, I mean, is there one mentor that stands out over all the others?
I was thinking about that because, at that point when you become a head professional and there's nobody there and you're on your own. And so there are a number of years where, my mentors were, I can still remember Joe Vito, my Little League baseball coach, Rick Keebler, my high school basketball coach, teachers. It's, you can get mentors from different places. Yeah. I learn a lot from the members that I've had a chance to serve. So many accomplished people who are captains of industry. But then I was really fortunate when I got inherited by Troon Golf through one of the 5 ownerships at Southern Dunes when I was paying water bills out of my own pocket. Hugh Edgman was the first vice president that I answered to. Hugh's been a PGA professional for 40 some odd years, and he was the first person who really took that extra interest where he wanted to know what I wanted to do next, and he wanted to take the time and out of the blue make a call and say, we're going to lunch, tell me how you're doing. And that's meant a lot to me, and he now is in semi-retirement across the street from me at the Rocks, and we still get together every couple months and have breakfast, and he's a person that has really kind of, even late in my career, I kind of felt, okay, that's what being a mentor is all about, and I think it's even made me become a better mentor to the team that I even have working with me today, and understanding it's that personal connection. Sometimes it's not telling them how to stack the range balls or fold the sweaters, but how you need to have balance, how you need to make sure that you're taking care of your priorities in order, your family's first.
Well, I tell you, just sitting here listening to you, I get a feeling that I would like to work for you.
Well,
seems like you'd be pretty easy to get along with.
We're hiring a valet, so if.
Well, I just want to congratulate you, and I hope you continue mentoring lots of people and enjoying it.
Well, it's a passion. I spend more time as my wife and kids remind me, more time at work than I do with them. But I love what I do, and if that's how, as John said earlier, if that's how I can give back and then they can pay it forward, then we're making a difference.
Garrett, congratulations.
Thanks, Al.